Voice isn't what used to be.
You could still sing.
All right, Grandma. I think we have the tape working. And, yeah, it's working. It says that it's 2:06 p.m. on February 7th, 1999.
What do you know?
So do me a favor.
Yeah,
Tell me. You don't have to stare at me, but tell me, when were you born?
December 24th, 1910.
That's 1910. That's 89 years ago.
Yeah, December
I thought you were 85.
88.
Yeah, 88. 88
Wow.
years old. Where were you born?
Russia.
Do you know what part of Russia?
Kiev. Kievska gubernia. Womanskую jezda.
I'm sorry I asked.
Tolnoye.
What was that? Wait a minute.
It sounds like a song.
Mistechka Tolnoye.
Mistechka Telnoye.
That's a little town.
You know,
Kievska gubernia.
what is that?
That's like Brooklyn, New York.
Kiske Dubernia.
Womanskую jezda.
What's that?
That's the area
Okay. So you told me a million names. That's in Russia.
in Russia.
And who was your mother? What's your mother's name? Bubby? We call her.
Pearl Spector.
Pearl Spector. And your father, what was his name?
Morris Spector.
Morris.
No.
No?
Morris
Maison.
Mazon?
is a Russian name.
Well, do you know the Russian name?
Yeah.
What was it?
Morris Mesonishnik.
Misnoinijik? And so she was Pearl Spector, though.
Pearl Spector.
Right.
And,
No, in America he changed it to Maison.
okay.
Morris Maison.
But he married Bubby in Russia.
Russia?
They were married in Russia, your parents.
Who?
Your parents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's
Do you
a good interviewer.
did you know your grandparents?
I used to know my grandfather.
What was his name?
He had a little store. I don't remember.
What was the store?
Wait a minute. It's Huck Yo-Yo. It's Huck.
Itzhak?
Isaac.
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 Was his name?
Yeah.
And he had a little store
Yeah.
in Russia?
In Russia.
What kind of store?
I remember he used to have little combs, little hardware things.
It was like a general store?
Yeah.
A little bit
Oh.
of everything.
And you don't remember your grandmother?
No, she wasn't alive when I was born.
Oh,
Mm.
She wasn't alive when my mother got married.
she wasn't alive.
No.
So it's Isaac. Whose father was he?
My mother's father.
Your mother's father.
Yeah.
Did you know your father's father?
No.
No? Okay. And they were Russian Jews, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how long did you live in Russia? Till what age?
Till about 9.
Do you remember growing up in Russia?
What?
Where'd you go to school?
I didn't go to school.
No school?
No school.
So
Why not?
what was growing up in Russia like?
It was a little town.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing.
Did they have a supermarket?
A supermarket.
A movie theater?
It had nothing.
What do
No
you mean
movie
not?
theaters?
No movie theater.
Roy, you work in advertising. Let me ask you the question.
No telephone.
Nothing. Well, where did you go shopping? Where did you buy food?
I didn't buy food. I didn't go shopping.
So what did you do for 9 years?
My mother, rest in peace, used to, she was a seamstress.
Mm-hmm.
So she used to sew for the peasants. They used to come in from the
Other towns?
from the town. They lived on the outskirts of the town.
She would sew.
So they used to bring her milk and maybe a chicken or something like that.
So people would bring you food.
Yeah, she sewed for them, so they would bring her things.
And she taught you, instead of school, she taught you things?
Taught me things.
Like we go to school. You didn't have a formal school?
Didn't have school. I wanted to go to school.
What about your father? What did he do?
He came to America when I was 2 years old, so I never knew him till I came to America. I was 10 when I came here.
So, but do you remember when your parents got married? What did he do? What was his job?
He was a carpenter.
He was a carpenter. And what did your mother work? As a seamstress when they met?
She used to sew in the house.
Okay. So from when you were born
Yeah.
to when you were 9, living in Russia, you said there was nothing. What did you do
Nothing.
every day? Did you play?
Oh,
Did you have a farm?
a farm? No.
You had friends, right?
No,
You had friends?
I didn't have friends.
So you stayed inside all the time?
No, I stayed outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, in this winter, I stayed inside.
And you watched
I
TV,
wouldn't
right?
Go out. I watched TV.
No TV. But, okay. So,
I used to go on the stove.
Mhm.
Over there, the stove was like in the wall.
mm-hmm.
So on top was like a floor of the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go there on top
Warm?
of the oven
To keep
to
warm?
warm up
Oh,
in the winter because I couldn't stand the cold ever.
right. So, but did you work as a child? Did you do work? Like, did you sew or do anything to make money?
I didn't even know what was money.
Okay. and you had a brother.
My brother was born in America.
Oh, but you had no brothers there. No brothers. Maya was born in America.
I had an aunt.
An aunt, she lived with you?
No, she had my mother's sister.
Right.
She had a big house on the main street
In Russia?
in Russia.
What street?
The main street of the town.
That's the main street.
And he used to take me there. And there were a lot of steps to go up to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to climb up the steps. Halfway off, I'd fall down all the steps.
Why? Was it snow?
Because I couldn't walk.
Why couldn't
Good.
you? Why did you have a problem walking?
No, I walked, but the steps I couldn't. There was a lot of steps.
Okay. So, when you were 2, your father came to America.
When I was 2, he came to America to make a better life for himself, and then he was going to send for my mother, rest in peace, and for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was here a short time, and the war started. The war.
What war?
What war? World War One.
Oh.
So no mail went to Russia, to our little town,
No mail.
and she didn't hear from him for many years.
She didn't know what happened to him.
And in our town was a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
The Russian Revolution, I think it was.
Cossacks.
Cossacks?
Huh?
The Cossacks used to come.
The Cossacks.
What's the
yeah.
Cossacks?
Yeah,
What is the Cossacks?
that's Russian soldiers. They were very fierce soldiers, and they used to ride on horses and have their bayonets in their hands in case they meet somebody
Oy.
off with the head.
Oh my God. You never saw that, right?
No,
Thank God.
but we lived not far away from where the town started, where the soldiers used to come in from outside
Mm-hmm.
to our town. And So all different, they had different people who wanted to be the leaders,
Mm-hmm.
like the communists,
Right.
the Germans, the Russians, and every time a different band would come into town, you would hear the fighting, the cannons from the beginning of the town.
They had cannons.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they always had fighting things.
Did they have walls around the town?
Oh,
I don't know,
think
it's-
so.
No.
I have
It's
no
a
idea.
small town.
Well, they got cannons.
Oh.
So you didn't know there was a revolution going. You didn't know where your father was.
No.
What was he? Where was he? In America,
First he went to South America,
South America.
and he lived there a couple of years, and then he came here. My uncle was here, my mother's brother,
What's his name?
Dr. Spector.
What did your father do in South America?
He stayed there a while,
Okay. Do you know where?
then he
nothing,
came
nothing.
to New York, and
He lived with your
Huh?
uncle. He lived with your uncle.
I don't think so. My uncle got married here. My uncle came here with my mother's sister,
His sister too.
and he was 14 years old, my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to school, and he went to college, and he went to medical school, and he taught himself to be a doctor,
Wow.
and he became a doctor. So that's what he was.
Did
He lived in Brownsville. He had
Brooklyn?
a house there,
So
and he's the one who took us off the boat.
well, when your father he came to New York, is that when he wrote to you and got in touch with you?
No, there was no mail going from. In Russia, there were revolutions. There
So
was no mail going.
so when you came to America, who were you coming? Who did you know you were coming to meet?
When we left Russia, we came to Romania, and over there was going mail. So she sent a letter to my father, rest in peace, and he said, okay, so come to America. So I don't know if he sent her money or what, and she. First, I wanted to tell you how we left Russia.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Tell me.
Tell 'em when the Cossacks came into town
I can't hear you.
When the Cossacks came into town
and threatened Bubby.
and threatened your mother, tell me what happened.
Oh. And where I was, there were a lot of revolutions in our town.
Right.
And different soldiers used to come in. And they used to rob and
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
they wanted to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And the official from the town
Right.
said that they'll give them a lot of money, that they shouldn't kill anybody.
Right.
So they promised that they wouldn't kill, they'll only rob. But on the last day, when they're leaving, they're gonna burn up the whole town.
Oh.
Oh, God.
That's what they promised. So in the meantime, the people used to come in, soldiers. One time they came, and everybody used to hide on the roof, on the, what do you call it?
Barn?
In the barn?
Huh?
In the attic?
The attic, yeah. The attic or in the cellar or someplace. And everybody would hide, and the soldiers used to come in and look for them. And one time they came they came to the next house, and they found the people hiding. They made them all come down, and there were screams. My mother, rest in peace, never used to hide.
No.
She used to say, God is everywhere. God will protect us. I'm not afraid. And she wasn't afraid. And she never used to hide. I was only a little girl then. And they came into our house. Oh, that was another time. This time she heard screams in the next house. And she walked in, and there was a soldier standing next to an old man with his sword by the old man's neck. He's saying, talking to him, give me this, give me that. And the old man couldn't understand what he was saying because he was so scared. So my mother, rest in peace, walks over to the soldier with a bayonet in his hand, takes him by the hand, he's holding the sword. She says, can't you see, he doesn't know what you're saying to him. Tell me what you want. So he says, okay, I want you to go get me food for the horses, food. So she said, all right, I'll try. And I'm with her.
Right.
And we walk out in the street, and we're looking. Nothing is open. There's no places open. She sees a man standing, and she goes over to him, and she asks him if he knows where he can get food for horses. He said, please go away from me. Don't talk to me. I don't want them to know I'm here. He was Jewish, you know. So she walks away. And after a while, we walked around. We couldn't find anything. So we came back. In the meantime, this old man reminded himself that there was a little stall with things that horses eat.
Hay,
Maybe hay, maybe
straw.
something else, maybe oats, who knows. So he was, from fear, he broke the lock, and he opened it up, and they got the food for the horses. And my mother came in to tell him she couldn't find. Anyway, they found the food, and the man said, maybe you know some nice young girls, pretty girls. She used to put dirt on her face. She should look ugly.
Who were these police?
Huh?
These Cossacks. They were Russian?
Russian soldiers,
Soldiers.
Didn't
bandits.
ask him, they were
Bandits.
soldiers.
Bandits.
Soldiers with bayonets. I didn't ask him what they were.
So did
But
they?
one time, we had German soldiers coming in, and they were so nice. The German soldiers. That was before Hitler.
Hmm.
And a lot of girls fell in love with them. Yeah. But it was a different time.
Right.
Tell him about the time, about the, Ma,
One,
tell him
Come
about,
closer. She can't
tell
hear
him,
you.
tell him about the time when,
when they came in my house.
yeah, with Grandma,
Yeah.
with Bobby.
They came in my house, and to rob, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, rest in peace, goes in front of the closet. She had a closet with clothes that she fixed for the peasants.
Right.
And he said, open up the closet and give me the clothes. She says, no, I can't do that. And there were two soldiers, and I'm standing next to her. And one soldier takes out a gun, and he says, you would get away from the closet or I'll shoot you. So she said, if you don't kill me, the people whose clothes it is, they'll kill me. because it's their clothes, not mine. So the other soldiers said, oh, leave them alone, and they left.
Oh,
Because the other soldiers said to him, and I was shaking like a leaf.
yeah, scary. So how did you get out of Russia?
We got out of Russia,
You remember the year?
not yet. It came a time that they were leaving, the soldiers were leaving. So they put a whole row of houses on fire. And they didn't let anybody to pour water or save them or something. And my mother and me were standing near the house where we were. And it was right next to a little lake. And I said, Mom, what are we gonna do? Look, the fire is coming right near us.
By your house?
She said, don't worry, we're right by the water. If it comes near us, we'll go in the water.
Mm-hmm. She was smart.
So, anyway, all of a sudden, as they were starting to burn the town, we heard shooting from where new soldiers coming in, like cannons shooting, terrible shooting. And these soldiers who were starting to burn the town, they all got very scared and they got on their horses and they ran out of town as fast as they could.
Who were the new soldiers?
And that was a miracle
Yeah.
that happened.
There were no new soldiers. It was a miracle.
Really?
There were no new soldiers coming in, so they were able to put out the fire.
So was your house on fire?
Huh?
Was your house on fire?
No, was a house, was a little shack.
Mm-hmm. So when did you leave Russia?
We left Russia. My mother stressed me, said she's going to go to America. So everybody laughed at her. You're going to go to America? You're going to get killed on the way. First of all, you have to go through no man's land where the soldiers were fighting. And all on the floor was all kinds of helmets and guns and cannons that they left there. Well, anyway, first we went on the outskirts of the town. We went in a horse and wagon, and we were sitting in the wagon. In the back of the wagon was like straw. And when we came to leave the town, there were soldiers there.
Right.
And they took with bayonets and pushed it into the straw in case somebody was hiding there.
Were you hiding there?
No, I was sitting, I wasn't hiding.
Okay.
I wasn't a soldier.
Okay. So?
I can laugh now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll be
Bye,
back
Mom.
in like a half
Bye,
an hour.
honey.
So how did were you went to Romania first?
So, first of all, after we left the town, we rode a long way till we came to a big place near a big river. And before the river, there was cornfields. And we were hiding in the cornfields a whole night
Wow.
because you're not allowed to escape.
Of course.
We had an agent that she gave money to take us across the river to
Romania?
Romania. Yeah.
Did you have clothes with you and a suitcase?
Yeah, I carried a bundle on my back.
Right.
What did I carry? Pillows, a quilt.
Did you have a stick?
Like you can't get that in America.
And you
Wow.
had tickets for the plane?
Huh?
You had tickets for the plane?
No planes, Roy.
Huh?
I
He-
said
he's
you had
making
tickets
it-
for the plane?
The plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, plane.
So tell me what happened. You had an agent and you were hiding in the cornfields?
Yeah. And at sunrise, the agent came to take us across the river.
Right.
It was a big river. The Nestor, I don't know. Anyway, in a little boat.
A
little
canoe.
boat, a canoe, like with
Oars, right.
Yeah. And they sat me in the point, and my mother was so afraid for me I shouldn't fall into the river.
Was it rough water? Do you remember being in the water?
I wasn't in the water, I was
In the boat. Do you remember going across?
Of course.
Was the water rough? Or was it like a lake?
It was a lake.
Oh,
A big lake or a river, I don't know.
Okay.
How long did
It
it
was
take?
very wide.
How long did it take to get across?
Well, I don't know. I didn't have my watch with me.
No? Your watch wasn't working?
So you had to pay this man to get you across.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so after, when he came to take us, he jacked up the price double than what they said. So she had to pay him. She couldn't say no.
How much?
I don't know. I was a little girl.
Okay.
So they took us across. And then, after they took us across, they put me in a house with other people. My mother, they put in a different house. They separated the families, the mothers from the children,
Why?
because in case the soldiers find us and they kill us, they shouldn't kill from the same family.
But Romania, wasn't that free?
Yeah, but we were not in Romania yet.
Oh, I thought you went across into Romania.
Yeah. So they took the women to different houses, the children to different houses. And I said, where's my mommy? Where's my mother? They said, we'll bring her later. So I stayed with the family. And later in the evening, they brought my mother's dressed in peace. And we stayed there a couple of days, I think. Very nice people. They took us in. They were nice to us. They took me to where they, what do you call it? Place where they sell things.
A
A flea market?
Market of sorts?
Flea market. Call it a flea market. Where they put the fruits and vegetables.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she fed us. We had little watermelons,
Mm.
and she fed us, what do you call it? Eggplant. Eggplant mixed up. Was very good. I liked it. Now I can't have it.
No,
No?
No,
it's not good.
How?
not good for my knees.
It's a nightshade.
Grandma, were you
Nightshade foods.
very hungry? Were you eating a lot out there
I
on your
was
trip?
always hungry.
So the woman that the family you stayed with,
Yeah.
how long did you stay with them?
I don't know, a couple of days or maybe 2 weeks, I'm not sure. Oh, then we went to a different place.
Hold on a second, Grandma.
Oh,
Dave's here, so
come here, Dave.
he's taking off his coat. It's okay. So, We're taking a little video. Grandma's giving us a little history.
Take a video of me.
You want to sit down?
What's doing here?
Grandma's telling us all about when she came from Russia.
Oh.
How you doing?
How are you?
Hi.
You want to? Do you want to sit
No,
down?
no, sit down.
Okay, you take off your coat. Stay. So,
Oh, okay, put it down.
you have lunch?
No, yesterday we went to the diner. So we take half the food we take home.
Oh, okay.
Because they give too much, I
Right.
can't eat that much.
You don't have to give it back?
On parade.
Right.
Right. So when you were staying with this family,
Yeah.
where was that? What town were you in?
Romania.
Oh, that was Romania.
All I know it was Romania.
Yeah.
But you still had to worry about soldiers in Romania?
No,
Oh, okay. So where was you were living with your mother?
yeah. No, we went to Общежитие. You know what that is?
No.
A place where immigrants gather
Right.
and stay there.
Okay.
So we went after we stayed at people's homes.
Right.
We went to a place in Bucharest,
Bucharest.
and she had to get a job to make some money, and she sent mail to my father's address in Greece. And one time she went away, and I didn't know where she was. So I went to look for her in Bucharest. So I got lost.
Yeah.
You didn't have a map with you?
I got lost
You didn't know Bucharest?
in Bucharest. And I was walking in the streets, and I was crying. And people would come over to me, take the things off the chairs, sit down.
So you were crying because you didn't know where your mother was?
Yeah.
So
So what happened?
You want today's paper? No?
So what happened? You kept looking for her? For your mother?
I went to look for her, and I got lost.
Oh.
So
So I was crying. So people would come over to me and talk to me. So they talked us our language. I couldn't understand them. I talked Jewish, and they couldn't understand me.
And they were talking German.
So I kept on walking and crying until finally somebody came over and they understood what I said. So they led me to this immigrant place, and I got found.
good. So where was your father staying in America while you were in Romania?
He was in New York, in Brooklyn.
With Dr. Spector?
No, he had a furnished room someplace.
Okay.
The doctor had a house.
How did you know his address? How did you know where to write to?
My mother wrote to her brother, and he knew where he was.
Oh. So what kind of work was he doing, your father?
He was a carpenter.
In New York?
Yeah.
Oh. So how did you get from Romania to New York?
So we had to, she couldn't go because she needed money. And so she went to work, and she made money.
That was a
And then we
seamstress?
lived in Bucharest in somebody's house, and she got a job someplace. Anyway, it took us a year to get to America.
Enough money.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we went to Italy, we went to France. We had to go all these different places, and she had to wait to get a visa to America.
From where? France? When you were in France?
Yeah. And we used to ride in cattle cars. Oh. So she took me to a barber in France.
A barber.
A barber.
Get a haircut.
And she told the barber to cut off my hair. And she said, make it like this, like that.
Like skin.
Yeah. Take off all my hair because we were traveling all the time. No baths, no clothes changing, no nothing. So he didn't want to do it. He said, no. He didn't want to do that. But she said, yes, you got to do it. So he did it. She was afraid if we go on the boat, they examine you.
Right.
If they find lice or nits, they won't take you.
Who told you how did she know that?
You know, because you're with a lot of immigrants.
Right.
People talk.
So she shaved your head.
Yeah, shaved off my hair.
How did you like your hair when you had no hair?
I didn't like
You
it.
didn't like it.
No.
I didn't fight it. I had to do it.
Right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't let me go to America.
Right.
So then we went to Port Lee Havre.
Port Lee Harbor?
Yeah,
Where's that?
in
In
France.
France.
And we got, and they gave us, they examined us, and they told us to go over there. They put us in steerage,
Below the boat?
the bottom of the boat,
Wow.
where the floor is. So a lot of immigrants were put there. If she had had enough money, she could have gotten a cabin, but we didn't have enough money. So we went in steerage.
How big a boat was this?
It was a boat that traveled from France to America.
And you still got a ticket, don't you? You have your ticket.
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember the name of the boat?
The boat's name was La Lorraine,
La Lorraine.
I love it.
It was an
Yeah.
old boat?
an old boat,
Right.
a rickety old boat.
Mm-hmm. And, all right. That's great. Hey, look who's here. Katie and Patrick.
Wow, look who's here now.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. You want to give me a kiss? Come here. Hurry up,
Oh,
Katie.
the sweet girl.
Hi.
doing?
How are you? Say hello to the video camera.
Hi.
Say hi.
No?
You know, maybe I'm gonna turn this off right now, okay?
Yeah,
We'll-
we're
we'll-
finished. I'll take them downstairs.
All right.
Traffic already asked.
Be careful. So
What?
you had a rickety old boat.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
We'll wait till they go downstairs.
And in the middle of the ocean
Go in the other room. Go ahead.
was a big storm,
Really?
and it picked up the boat and big waves and threw it over there, and then the waves picked it up and threw it over there.
So what were you doing?
I was brave,
Were you with your mother?
yes.
Did you have your own bed?
They had like hammocks. I was in a hammock,
And it was moving, right?
yeah.
The only way to travel.
It was very bad.
Did your mother have a hammock?
No, who knows where they slept. There was no comfort.
Poor thing, she was always hungry.
So they had no. What kind of food did they have for you?
Food. They'd come down, put a couple of pieces of bread on the table, and a thing with coffee. I really didn't have what to eat. I was always hungry.
How long was the ride?
The ride was 9 days, I think.
And there was only bread?
What do you think? They gave good food.
What about vegetables, apples, or didn't you say someone gave you a pear?
An orange.
Who gave you an orange?
Oh, I brought things over to her, to a woman, so she gave me an orange
Oh,
because they had money. They bought oranges.
oh. Were you allowed upstairs on the boat?
I don't know. We didn't go upstairs. I don't remember.
Oh.
Anyway, on a different voyage, that ship sank
When?
while it rained.
On the way back?
No, a different voyage.
Really?
It was an old rickety ship.
Thank God it didn't sink when you were
Yeah.
coming.
So when you were on your ship, where'd everyone go to the bathroom? Was there bathrooms?
Bathrooms, I don't remember.
So what happened when you got to America? You went to Ellis Island?
When we got to America, and my mother's recipes were sick on the ship, and the doctor used to come over and listen to her pulse and leave. They didn't give anything to help it. I wasn't sick on the ship. Anyway, I was glad that we got out of the storm alive. We came to America. We went to Ellis Island.
Right.
Yeah.
There was
Were you-
plenty bread there.
A lot of bread. What was in Ellis Island?
They had a big dining room with a lot of tables, and every table had food. One table had all meat, one table had all fish. All the tables were full of food, and the people used to come to eat, the immigrants.
Right.
I was so happy. I
With all this
didn't want to leave Ellis
food.
Island. I never saw so much food in my life.
Grandma, when you got to New York and the boat was coming to Ellis Island,
Yeah.
were you outside looking around at New York?
Yeah, I was looking.
Were you
yeah.
excited?
Yeah.
Yeah? You
I
remember that?
never saw so many tall buildings.
So when you got to Ellis Island and you got off the boat, did they ask you for your names?
You can't get off the boat right away. They have to take your name, and somebody has to come to vouch for you that they're going to take care of you.
Before you get off the boat?
Yes. Otherwise, they won't let you off to be
A citizen.
a hindrance to the government.
Oh.
They have to show that they're going to take care of you.
But
So
you sat on
my
the
uncle
boat?
came, the doctor.
Right.
He came to take us off the
Inspector.
boat because he showed that he's a doctor and he has a house and he'll take care of us.
Right.
So he took us.
But you stayed on the island after that for a little while?
On Ellis Island,
Right.
a couple of days
Before he came?
before I came here.
Before your uncle came to Ellis Island?
Yeah, yeah.
You ate at Ellis Island, you had a lot of food,
Yeah,
and then he showed up?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they made you stay on the boat while you were at Ellis
No,
Island.
no,
Oh.
No, they made us sit
They
next
make
to all
you
the
get
food.
off the boat. The boat has to go back,
Right.
take people back.
Did they give you a place to sleep?
Anyway, we were lucky we got here. So my uncle came and he took us off the boat and he took us to his house and he had a porch, enclosed porch. He put beds there, so we had to stay. And
Where did he live, in Brownsville?
and he had a nice house. He had electricity.
Wow.
Then we looked for a place to live. And we found an apartment. There was no electricity there.
No.
No.
How long did you live with your uncle?
A couple of weeks. He took me across the street. It was a school. He registered me in school.
Wow.
What grade were you
I
in?
started to go to school with a baldy head.
Do you remember how old you were?
10.
And do you remember what grade they put you in?
Yeah. In the first grade.
First grade.
You didn't know
I was
English.
10 years old. I was as big as the 6-year-olds, the 5-year-olds.
You were little.
I was little.
You didn't know any English?
No.
So where did you learn English?
Well, people talk. You listen.
Talk about English, you didn't even know Russian.
So you were in, do you remember what school it was?
No.
It was in Brooklyn.
Then I went to the other schools because we moved. I went to different schools.
Where did you get your house? Where did you and your mother move to?
Oh, after my uncle?
Yeah. Where was I'm sorry.
Where was
Was your father living at your uncle's with you?
Yeah.
Do you remember do you remember seeing him for the first time?
Yeah.
Where?
When I was looking out from the boat, I saw a little boat used to come to the big boat
Wow.
to talk to people.
Right.
Oh.
And my mother, rest in peace, was looking for me.
Right.
She wanted to show him to me.
He was in a little boat?
Yeah.
He
Your
was
father?
Your father.
But she
hadn't seen
couldn't
in
find
years.
me because I was right in the front looking at him.
Oh.
Did you know it was him?
No.
He didn't come to pick you up at the island?
No,
He
he
didn't
didn't
have a job.
have the means to show that he could give us a home and security.
Did you meet him at the island though?
Huh?
Did he come to see you at Ellis Island?
No.
So
He
you
was
didn't
just on the little boat outside.
and you didn't see him?
I didn't see him till my mother found me. Then she said, "That's your father." And I was looking at him all the time, but I didn't know who he was.
Oh.
So was it exciting to see him for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So when you got to your uncle's house, did your father come stay with you?
Of course.
This is the first time you got to know your father.
Yeah.
Did you
Wow.
like it? Must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was excited.
Yeah.
So where did you get your first place to live, all of you? He had a place.
Then we found an apartment on Douglas Street
In Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn, Brownsville.
Hmm.
So there was no electricity. There was only jets sticking out of the wall, and from there, and gas. They, even in the street, they had poles with gas jets.
Gas lamps.
Yeah, they didn't have electricity. My uncle had electricity because he was a doctor and he could afford it.
So,
he had
Cost a lot of money.
electricity.
so
We
you were,
didn't have any.
your mom was a
We had
seamstress?
cockroaches.
Oh. You had how many bedrooms? What?
Look this way a little bit.
You had how many bedrooms in your apartment?
It was like a railroad apartment. You come in here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
4
Like
rooms.
that. The first one we used as a dining room because my uncle gave us his dining room set. So we put it there. Then we had a kitchen and two bedrooms, I guess.
So tell me, Grandma, was
And then a year later, my mother gave birth to my brother.
oh,
So I was 11 years old. She stopped me from school. I should stay home and help her.
right.
She didn't go to the hospital to have a baby. She took a midwife at home, and then she made me help her
Right.
with a baby, with her. So I was only 11.
And your father was working as a carpenter.
Yeah,
Were you very upset that you had to stop going to school?
yeah. And I was so skinny, and they wanted to put me in a health class
Why?
because I was so little and so skinny.
But you had food.
I know, but they have health classes where they put the kids to take a nap on the desk. They give them milk with cookies. I didn't want that. I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Right.
That wasn't from the beginning. It was after a while. And my mother's recipes wouldn't go up to school to tell them because she couldn't talk English.
Right.
So I wrote a letter. I was writing already.
Really? In one
I
year?
said, if you don't let me go to regular classes, I'm not going to come to school. I feel all right, and I want to learn, and I don't want to go to sleep.
So what school so when did you go back to school? At what age?
I went back to school
After Maya was born.
a couple of weeks later,
Oh, and that was second grade?
and then I started to skip all the grades
Why?
because I got very smart.
She
Did you
must
go to
know.
second grade?
Uh-huh.
Did you have second grade?
Yeah, every time that they had to put me in the next grade, they skipped it to put me 2 grades ahead.
Because you were older also?
No, because I
That's
was
smart.
smarter.
Oh. So
That
what
was her
school?
stuff.
What school did you go to? Do you remember?
I went to 175 and 165.
PS 175
Yeah.
and PS 165.
Yeah, our loyal love we pledge to thee. 165, dear, 165. Our hearts will ever faithful be. 165, dear, 165. No word untrue,
You're
no
gonna
deed of
publish
shame
that song.
shall e'er rebuke thine honored name. So none shall dare presume to blame. 165, our 165.
Wow. How did you remember that, Grandma?
You know when that was?
No.
Long time
I
ago.
figured that. What school? How old were you when you used to sing?
When I graduated from
1925.
public school, I graduated the same age as the people who started when they were 5 or 6.
And you
Wow.
started
I made
when
it in 4
11.
years.
everything 12 grades in 4 years?
Yeah.
Wow. So that was public school 165.
Yeah.
So when you
What the song
graduated,
says.
you were 17.
No, I was 14 and a half.
And that was 12th grade or 9th grade?
8th or 9th.
So did you go to high school?
I wanted to,
Right.
because I was very good at school.
Very smart.
Every Friday I used to get
See the
a
snow?
prize for getting 100 on my test.
What kind of prizes?
Oh, she would give you a book or other things.
Is this your teacher did this?
I was smart.
Who gave you the prizes? Your
Uh-huh.
teacher? Who gave you the prizes?
The teacher.
Oh, I didn't know.
So you didn't go to high school.
I wanted to go to high school. And my father's rest in peace used to say, girls don't need to do that. They get married, they have children, they don't have to go.
Is that true?
Yeah.
And I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I cried for a couple of weeks, I cried. And I couldn't go. Finally, they let me go to business school.
Business.
Business school. Now, business school,
Different
they
school.
teach very fast
Oh.
because I started business school a month after it started.
Right.
A month later.
Okay. And where did you go to business school?
So I went to business school a month after it started.
Right.
And everybody was way ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
By the second month, I was ahead of the class.
Whew.
What were you learning?
I was learning bookkeeping,
Counting.
typing,
You were 15.
everything.
You were 15 years old.
Yeah. So what happened? I couldn't continue
Why?
with business school because my father, stressed me, he had a stroke.
Oh, while he was working?
So I had to get a job and go to work and help out whatever I did.
Do you know what did you do?
Anyway, when I was 17 years old, my father, stressed me, he got another stroke and he died.
Oh gosh.
So there goes my learning.
Where were you working when your father died? You were working, right?
Yeah, I was working in a factory. I was sewing down buttons or collars.
You weren't doing bookkeeping and business?
How could I? I went to business school for 1 month.
Oh, that was it. So, and your
Business
mother was
school.
sewing too?
Uh,
Your mother sewed also?
After he died, yeah, she got a job. She went to work in New York.
Where was Meyer?
He was home. I was taking care of him.
And you still lived on Douglas Street?
We moved. Every year we moved. Every year when they had a paint, they used to use that very terrible
Lead?
paint.
The lead?
I don't know.
Terrible.
But the people used to cough for months after being in a paint, at that kind of paint. So instead of painting, we used to look for another apartment.
How many apartments did you have?
Oh, lots.
A lot of them.
Yeah,
So where were you living when your father died? Do you remember?
yeah.
Where?
Forgot the street.
It's okay. So when did you get married? How old were you?
I was 20.
20. What were?
How was living in America compared to Russia? It must have been such a big change for you.
I used to think the streets were paved with gold. That's what they used to tell you.
Yeah.
They weren't.
No.
Compared to what she had.
So where did you meet Grandpa Nat? Where did you meet Grandpa?
In Macy's.
In Macy's.
I got a job working in Macy's.
What did you do in Macy's?
I used to work in a department that returns.
Right.
I would take off the old ticket and write out a new ticket and put it on the clothes.
Where in the city? In New York City?
Yeah,
In Herald Square?
yeah.
Oh.
34th Street.
And during my lunch hour, I walk around and look at the clothes, which I could never buy.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they
still do
paid
that
you?
today?
But they paid me, yeah, $15 a week.
Wow. And what did Grandpa do there?
He wasn't here anymore.
No. Grandpa Nat. Your
Your husband.
Your husband.
Oh, he
What did he do at
was a
Macy's?
stock boy.
A stock boy.
Yeah,
How old was he?
he was 22.
22?
Yeah,
And you met at the store.
in the store.
Hmm. And when did you get married? How long did you know each other?
About a year.
A year? And
I guess you spent a lot of time together. You went out on dates.
Mm.
Did you go out on dates?
He was poor and I was poor.
So did you
We
take
both
walks?
didn't have money.
so where did you get married?
Where? In the basement, where there was a rabbi, like,
In a house?
they used to get married in the basement. My girlfriends got married in the basement also.
Did
It was right after, during the Depression. It was during the Depression.
what year?
They, was it 1939?
The Rangers won the Stanley Cup that year. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? I thought you would. So, you got married in a basement in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And was Bubby there?
Yeah.
And what about Grandpa Nat's parents? Did you know them?
No. I knew his father. He lost his mother and his twin sister. He was from a twin
Really?
during the flu epidemic. There
Oh.
was a flu epidemic before that.
Where did Grandpa Nat come from? Russia?
No, he was born in America.
He was born here?
Yeah.
And where was his father from?
From Europe, I don't know where.
You don't know where? What? Do you remember his name?
Forgot.
You forgot. What, his last name was Margolis.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 1939, you guys got married. And
I think so.
where did you live?
With my mother and my brother.
He lived with you?
We all lived together
Oh.
in a little crooked house.
Do you remember where?
Where?
Yeah.
On Sutter Avenue.
Is that in where? That's where?
And then we lived on Hopkinson Avenue. I lived on all those streets.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So did you have your own place?
Nah,
Grandma, your mother always lived with you?
not always. Until after I had Barbara, and then I had Lily.
Well, Mom was less. You had Marilyn first.
I had Marilyn first. Then I had Lily. Well, Lily was a year old. They had renovated a house on Amboy Street.
Amboy?
So I got an apartment there. I had 4 rooms, and I had to rent out a room.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to rent out a room.
For money, extra money.
For money.
You didn't work, right?
No, I didn't work. I took
Baby.
care of the children in my house.
Was Grandpa still working as a stock boy? At
Yeah, he
Macy's?
got a different job in the government.
Doing what?
Got a job in the, what do you call it?
The IRS? The taxes?
No. I forgot.
Whatever.
In the government.
In the government. So after you got a new apartment on Amboy Street.
Yeah.
Now how Marilyn was born, you don't have to tell me because she's going to get mad. Do you remember what year? You were married in
She was
1939.
About 2 years later,
And then Lily?
Lily was born 3.5 years after Marilyn was born.
And then my mom, Barbara.
She was born 10 years after Marilyn was
10
born.
years after Marilyn or after Lily?
6 years after Lily.
Oh, wow, that's a big spread.
Yeah,
So you had 3 daughters.
yeah.
Wow, that's 3 girls. So, did you stay on Amboy Street? Or when did you move to Sterling Place?
Oh, we stayed on Amboy Street. Amboy Street. Yeah, we were there a long time.
Is my
Then
mother
we
living
moved
there?
on Sterling Place.
Were your daughters born in the hospital or at the house?
No, in the hospital.
What hospital?
They used to make you stay 10 days in the hospital.
What hospitals did you have them? Do you remember?
Brooklyn Women's Hospital.
All of them?
Yeah.
Brooklyn Women's Hospital. Wow. And let me think here. So, when my mom was born, were you still living on Amboy Street?
Yeah.
So Marilyn was 10 when my mother was born.
Wait a minute. Sterling Place. No, Barbara was born on Sterling Place.
And she was 10 years younger than Marilyn.
Yeah.
So did you go back to work at all when they were? No? You used to tell me that when you were a kid you ate a lot of junk food. And that's why you got into vitamins, right?
Well, not a lot. But I didn't know anything about nutrition.
So when did you start being so crazy with vitamins?
My kids weren't strong.
No?
They had allergies.
All of
And
them?
so did I. And we had allergies.
To what?
To what? To dust, to things.
All of you? Marilyn, Lillian, and my mother?
I don't remember all of them, but I know Marilyn suffered very badly with allergies, and so did I. And I used to listen on radio to Carton Fredericks. He was a nutritionist, and he used to tell people how to eat. So I started to listen to him, and I threw out all the junk foods, and I started to take only good food in the house, and they got better.
And everyone, the allergies went away, and everyone was better.
Yes,
So you've been into nutrition for a long time.
very long.
Was that before my mother was born?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stayed on Sterling Place until your daughters all started to get married,
Yeah.
and
And I got divorced.
and you got divorced. What year did you get divorced?
Huh?
When did you get divorced? What year? You remember?
I don't remember.
But they were all married, right? When you got divorced.
No, Barbara wasn't married yet.
Oh.
We moved to Lily. She bought the house that she was living in, and she gave me a downstairs apartment on
Oh.
East 52nd
When you got
Street.
divorced, right?
It was beautiful there,
Well, do you remember who got married first? Marilyn?
Marilyn.
Do you remember the first time you met Sonny?
Yeah,
What was he like?
like he is now.
Oh. So, and you remember their wedding?
Oh, yeah.
Where was
The
it?
Twin Cantors.
The Twin Cantors.
Yeah.
Is that a place?
It's a place on Eastern Parkway. My uncle bought a beautiful home there, and across the street was the Twin Cantors place. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was a nice
And
wedding?
The Twin Cantors used to officiate there.
Hmm.
Oh, it was a beautiful place.
And do you remember when you first met Esther?
Who?
Grandma Esther, Sonny's mother.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and her husband?
yeah.
What was his name?
I don't remember. I'm very bad with names.
You remember Esther, though, very well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you guys were good friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was a wonderful woman.
yeah. We used to go all the time to different places where the people were graduating from schools, and we always stayed together.
You and
We
Esther?
never fought.
No?
No.
Do you remember her store? She had a store.
Oh, sure.
Where was that? In Queens?
In
in
Queens.
Jamaica?
Yeah.
Did you used to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah? You were good friends.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Do you remember when you met Alfred for the first time?
Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, he was a young kid, right?
Yeah.
Now he came from Israel, right? He was born in Israel?
He wasn't born in Israel. He came to Israel. He was born in Europe someplace. I don't know where.
Right. Where was their wedding?
Who?
Where did they get married?
Lily?
Yeah.
Um, maybe 2-3 years later, after married.
Do you remember where?
Where did they get married? Yeah, by a friend of ours. He was a rabbi.
In a basement?
No, in his house.
In his house. And was your mother there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And Grandpa was there? Grandpa Nat, your husband at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
What about Alfred's parents? Did you meet them?
I don't remember.
No. So after they got married, where did they live?
They moved to that house that
In Brooklyn?
she bought, yeah, East 52nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gave me the apartment.
She had a baby right away, Debbie?
Debbie? Oh, yeah, she had Debbie.
And Marilyn had Larry.
Yeah.
They had them before my mother got married? Lily and Marilyn had babies
Yeah.
before my mother got married.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Then after they had their second babies, their mother got her first baby. That's, you see, 3 little boys.
yes,
There.
right. That's Robert, Jeffrey, and Ronnie.
Yeah.
Do you remember my mother's wedding?
Barbara's wedding? Yeah, it was also in a house.
In a house?
Yeah.
It wasn't at a big place?
No.
And was, you were divorced then?
Yeah.
Boys and girls, it's starting to snow.
Yeah, we saw the snow. It's very light. So, it was you met my grandma Kate
Oh, yeah.
and my grandpa Mo
Yeah.
at the Did you know them before the wedding?
I don't think so.
No.
No, we went to a restaurant.
Where? What restaurant? Was it the one in Williamsburg? What's that place called?
No, it was some restaurant. I don't know.
So, after my mom got married, did she go on a honeymoon?
You'll have to ask her.
You don't know.
I don't.
So she had Robert, and Marilyn had Jeffrey,
Yeah,
and Lily had Ronnie.
yeah,
And you were living with Lily.
yeah.
How long did you live with Lily?
Oh, a long time. About 20 years.
No.
Yeah.
Really? In Brooklyn?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
So didn't Lily move though to like another state, Illinois?
yeah.
What was in Illinois?
In Illinois.
Why did they move to Illinois?
Her husband moved to Illinois.
He had a job.
He owed money to the Shylocks.
Okay. All right. So
And then he lost the house.
in Illinois.
Oh, and he left for Illinois.
Oh.
He's
Oh.
a lunatic. He
Oh.
lost a
Well.
couple of houses and everything.
Wow. So when did you move with Marilyn?
Uh, oh, Lily was moving back here to Long Island from Chicago.
When Lily went to Chicago, where did you go?
I stayed in Lily's house.
By yourself?
My mother's recipes.
But who lived upstairs?
Nobody.
You just lived there?
Then they sold the house
And you had
to somebody, and they told us they want the downstairs apartment. And
was Marilyn living in Plainview?
when Marilyn was moving to Plainview,
Mm-hmm.
so I left my apartment there.
And you went to
I
Marilyn?
I stayed with Lily here.
But she got the house in Plainview?
Yeah,
So she was only in Chicago for a short time.
for a couple of years.
And you were living in that apartment with your mother, with no one else in the house for a couple of years?
Yeah.
Wow. So When Lily moved to Plainview, where did she live in Plainview? You remember?
Plainview,
Yeah. She had just two.
South Oaks Boulevard.
And you moved in.
Yeah.
Where was your mother? She move in too?
No. She was in a hotel because we went to the country, all of us. And we put her in a hotel by the ocean.
On Long Island?
Yeah. No, in Brooklyn or wherever it is. It was a nice place. And she liked it there.
Was it an adult
So
home?
she was there the whole time. And then when we had to move, she caught a cold. She caught a cold and she died.
Oh.
She couldn't
Was
live
that
with us.
before I was born?
Yeah.
What year did she die?
The day before we moved to Long Island.
Before you moved to Lily's?
Yeah.
Oh. So she was in the hotel and you were still in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that must have been horrible.
We had just come back from the country.
Where's the country? Upstate?
Yeah. Like in the mountains.
The
We
Catskills?
stayed there for the summer.
When my mother would go, everybody would go?
Everybody was there.
I remember
I
seeing
was there. I used to run after you. And you used to run away with your little kitty car.
Is that the name of, what's the name of that place? Where was the place in the country we stayed? What was the name?
I don't remember names.
You don't remember, okay. So, wasn't Linda born in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay, so that was around 1967. So then Linda, you all went that house probably the next year, 1968? Around?
Whatever you say.
How long did you stay on South Oak Street?
Oh, she stayed there about a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then they bought this house,
On Richfield Street.
Richfield Street.
And Marilyn already had a house on Powell Street?
Yeah,
And you moved in with Marilyn?
yeah.
Oh, okay. You know a lot of information, Grandma. You getting tired?
I'm tired.
You want to stop?
Yeah, what else would you like to know?
So how long, you lived on Powell Street from like 1968 until like 1998. 30 years, right?
House Street?
With Marilyn. 30 years.
Oh, yeah, 30 years, that's right.
And now now you're here.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. Wow. Well, you know,
I was happy because I was able to be with the children, with the grandchildren, and I used to love to be with everybody.
you still do.
And my husband didn't like that.
No.
No.
Well, so we're glad you stayed.
Yes,
I mean, if your mother didn't save all the money and get you in the cornfields and in the water, none of us would be here today. Not me and Linda and David and Roy and Robert and Jeffrey and Ronnie and Larry and Debbie. And then those are your grandchildren. And you have great grandchildren.
yeah, thank
You
God,
have
thank
you
God.
have you have Mark and you have Julie and you have Jessica and you have what do you got? Sarah
Yeah.
and you have Michael and Matthew
Yeah,
and Robert's gonna have another baby.
Yeah.
You heard? He's gonna have a girl. It's a lot of people.
I'm lucky.
And who knows?
Thank
Maybe
God.
one day I'll have a baby.
Yeah.
And David will have a baby, and Roy will have a baby, and they'll have babies. And all of this because you came here, right?
Thank God.
Thank God is right, and I hope you live a long life. Are you born on Christmas or the day before Christmas?
The night before Christmas.
So that story was about you?
And all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Because we have a party every Christmas. We should have it on Christmas Eve. You were born on Christmas Eve.
That's right.
So your boyfriend's here, so we'll stop now.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Thank you, Grandma. Ugh. Say goodbye to the videotape.
Oh,
Well, we're now at Debbie's party for her sister Cindy. She's welcoming us. I can't even speak.
welcome.
Yes, and we'll say hello to all of your cousins. Say hi, beautiful. Hi. What's your name? I forgot her name already. Isabel. Say hi, Isabel. Okay, that's good enough. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
We'll be on tape forever.
Happy birthday, Lillian and Cindy.
Lily, I didn't know it was your birthday. Hi, Rachel. You're so cute. What's we got here? Hey, Joe, you can say hi instead of hiding.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. All right. Say who else we have here. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jamie.
I keep following you around so I can stay in the video.
Cindy? Who's Cindy? I never heard of her. No, I don't know where she is yet. I just started. Okay. I have to save this videotape treasures. Marilyn, say hello.
Hi, Lillian and Cindy.
Or you can say hello to yourself because I'm going to make everyone a copy of the video.
Hi, me. We're having a wonderful time.
Beautiful. Now let me come around this way to look at the great spread, Roy.
I think it's very good.
Here's our host, Mr. David Hochberg.
Hello there, Ricky.
How you do? Okay, I'm just recording this great shindig, so we never forget it.
Excellent.
Now, wait a minute. You think you're going to get away from this camera, the guest of honor?
You're the star of the party here, you know?
We're recording all of your cousins, so you'll have them all on tape live instead of those boring still shots, you know? Here's your husband, Doug, right? Oh, I got it right. Okay.
Great memory.
No, I already saw her. Once is enough, you know? I mean, no one can hog the camera. Okay. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? There goes Maya. You made it lower, I'm sure. Oh, you didn't make it lower. Hello, everybody who's going to be on tape. My beautiful wife.
Good to see you, Ricky.
Mhm.
You can say that again.
Hey, Grandma, you ready to do more videotaping?
Did something.
I said, are you ready to do more videotaping?
Oh, she's always really just...
We have your whole story you gave me on this tape.
Yeah, I left out a lot of things.
What did you leave out?
How could I remember everything?
You can hang into something anytime you want.
Well, I'm adding this to the tape. You have anything you want to say that you forgot?
I see.
Or you forgot what you forgot?
Things there.
Yeah? Well, we'll come around and see if anyone has anything that you can remember, okay? We'll come back to it. Ricky on the spot, thank you. Grandma, stop shaking. My camera won't stop moving.
We want you to have the biggest one. Oh. Here, Lindsay, you want to come and we'll get a picture with Grandma?
Okay, stop fighting in here. Go downstairs, fight.
He's making them a movie star.
Grandma's gonna be in the movies. Grandma, what do you have there? Bagels?
Oh, it's a heart.
A heart?
A heart.
Let me see. Show it.
Heart.
Should I put it on you?
Uh-oh, I better turn the camera because I'm just filming.
Special biggest.
I was just filming.
Let me see the pictures of you. You didn't bring them?
I don't have them.
Grandma, let me see the heart.
You're supposed to be getting your present.
Not convenient.
I was taking, no, David, you're not understanding. I was taking pictures for that.
Let me see the heart, Grandma.
Get one here.
Thank you all, everybody.
Here, you know what? Get the three of them. David.
Now I feel like I belong.
Oh, like you didn't belong before.
Yeah. They'll go away.
Like you didn't belong.
They're not stars, they're just the remainder of it.
Well, I'm hoping you don't. We gave her the same heart that we have.
Where's Debbie?
Oh, we know her already. We don't need to see her.
For this picture.
Grandma, they're taking a picture. Look up. Look up.
Telling Mom.
Not up there. Up here.
We gave her a big heart.
I'm very happy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Well, I feel like I'm at the awards. I feel like I'm at the family awards. Oh!
She's in the awards show, yes.
Are you prepared?
Oh, Rick is taking pictures.
Are you
Oh.
prepared to take pictures from us?
No, yeah, no, I don't think so. No.
Hi, Erica.
Over span of like 3
That's my
months, and I had to
speech.
use them.
Thank you, everybody. I love you, everybody.
Oh, you got that, Ricky?
Why do I have so many pictures? Why isn't this film ever running
Ricky has a
out?
lot
Like,
of
it's like when the film runs out, I'll get it to Mel, but it was never running out.
Grandma,
Oh, good.
I'm in this role. I'm just gonna take it and tell them.
The numbers changing?
I didn't know where to find it. It's a complicated camera.
Grandma gave me a whole hour on when she was a little girl and how she came to the United States, and she gave me a lot of stuff. She said she left good stuff out though. She couldn't say it all. Yes. Grandma, what did you leave out when you spoke to me? Yes.
That's another story. 6:30 or 7:30. Yeah, you know.
You gave me enough?
I was once drowned.
What? You were drowning? I didn't know anything about you drowning.
Chrissy. Nice to meet you. Lauren, is that Chrissy already?
Hi.
Hey, you ready now? Jacinta?
Yes, she just told me, hi Cindy.
I'm so glad. She just came, morning sickness and all, to meet you. She drove from Connecticut. She really wanted to meet you. And there's Jamie.
I'm good.
Hey!
She's like, come over here.
She's hiding it. What are you doing there? 5 feet away.
There's Jamie. There. And this is Jamie, my niece. And this is Chrissy. And Lauren.
All right, I'm going to turn the camera off now. We'll fade out on Vanessa having a chip.
I know.
Because if he's a celebrity death
Jimmy, you said hello 40 times.
Cindy, where you going? Oh, look at that.
Let me get a look at this. Oh, you're going to see yourself in 20 years and make fun of yourself.
You kiss him?
Nope. Don't eat yet. How old are you, Mike?
Right in the front.
8, 111, 239,
Mike, when you're 28, I'm going to show you this tape.
Where'd the kid go?
Right here.
Please don't.
Don't eat yet. Stop eating. Marilyn, that means you. Stop eating. She put it back.
Happy birthday, Ronnie. When is Ronnie's birthday? I told them. Second. That's right. Well, my birthday's in April.
Rick, this is one of the.
It should have been a pink cake, but a pink eye.
It looks like that's hard. Daddy, it looks like that's hard. That hard to put the candles in.
Fine, other than that. Can we get it on?
Why?
All right, stop. Not right now, guys.
I just put 5 candles.
18 candles?
Ew. How old are you, Jessica?
Boy. I have 5 things in my head.
4 or 5?
You know what? 5 and 6 is right there.
I'll do that.
Rick, you want me to film you and Chattis?
No.
Another year will go by before she finishes those candles.
I could never light with a lighter.
Lighting with a little.
What do you use, a flashlight?
That's your dad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Daddy,
13,
come
14.
here.
He's gonna try to figure it out then.
There's a reason.
I'm sure you're not 6. I'm sure Cindy's not 16. I'm sure.
Who said I'm sure 16 is 16?
No,
16
15.
You're
candles.
trying
No,
to figure
it's
it
Trying to
wrong.
figure it out.
15.
You're thinking about it in the wrong way.
16 candles.
You're not thinking about it in the right
1, 2,
way.
3,
Are you
4,
gonna
5,
tell
6,
us?
7, 8, 9,
You have to think there's 2 people. They have to put other people.
Alright, so there's 6.
Oh.
So they're
understand.
Difference in age.
Go ahead.
Who's the genius who just said that?
Difference in age.
I'm sorry, I didn't even. Carolyn.
Okay, now.
What did you say? What did you say?
All right, wait.
All right, let's
I don't
Where's
go.
Cindy?
Cindy's in the front. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cindy, Lily, and Ronnie. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! And many more.
Okay, time to blow.
All right, yeah. Woo.
Now tell us why there's 16 candles.
Forget that. I want to eat the cake. Let's eat the cake.
Each of them plus each year.
Oh, done.
I missed the explanation.
Each of the not you, Ron.
Larry, you have a bald spot.
How come it's only 5 candles on Ronnie's cake?
I'm George. What do you think?
That's right.
Only 21 come in a box.
I've only 21 come in a box.
No, Debbie.
I don't think they came from the same box.
No, what's the story? Where is it?
What's the difference?
Each decade.
Why is this? Do you know why?
Debbie, say it again.
Each decade for the 2 ladies.
Debbie, what is it?
Cancel for each decade and then a cancel for each year.
I'm the one who's doing the film. Hi, beautiful. Uh-oh, she's dangerous with knives. The big knives.
Now we have the famous.
Jessica. Jessica, you're in my way.
Do you want to?
All right.
I saw you eat that chocolate.
Who cares?
No, get away from
Michael.
Can I take out the candles before you cut?
I already got myself. Careful, you stand up on.
I'm gonna stand up on
You're a filmer. Now you've seen me, and that's enough.
Okay, kids, out of the way. I'm hungry.
Hey, you're getting off the table already. What's wrong with you? 10 children, you gotta let your elders know first.